My father finally said, "You're dead to me, you lazy piece of shit." Context: my father is a die-hard conservative, born in 1952 and comes with all of said baggage. He and I have been back and forth regarding too many things to count. I'm trying to be genuine here, but at the same time honest. He is racist, sexist, homophobic, transphobic and overall xenophobic. He is also extremely work-obsessed. I chalk that up to him failing junior high in the 70s and going straight into the workforce, so that's literally the only thing he knows. I am extremely fortunate to work for company I like. This being said, the company provides time off. As of the time of this posting, Saturday, I have a 3-day weekend in observation of Juneteenth. I was texting my mother of this, that I'd be available to do dog sitting on Monday, and received a separate text from my father of, "You're dead to me, you lazy piece of shit." He then went on to explain in horribly written text of how everyone today is entitled and wants days off and does not understand a hard day's work, as he puts it. What bothers me more is that this type of behavior is still prevalent and people still find the need to destroy themselves at their job, only to come home to sleep and recharge as the only reason you go back to work. Does anyone know of anybody who said at their deathbed, "I wish I had spent more time at the factory office"? Just curious. That's a very extreme reaction to you having a day off. You're dead to him because your company observes Juneteenth. How is that your fault? My dad: "You're dead to me, you lazy piece of shit." Me: "So nothing new, then." Your dad sounds like he has mental health issues. Surprised he said it first. You have more justification. Well, if you're dead to him, you probably won't be a very good dog sitter, now will you? Sorry you're angry, my company gave me a paid holiday. Maybe try working somewhere else. You're dead to him, so stop responding. He's doing this because he wants a reaction. Act like a toddler, then treat him like a toddler. Never give a toddler attention when they are throwing a tantrum. Take your benefits. Your dad is an ass. I'm a boomer too. My generation missed the whole point of the 60s, I think. He was born in 1952 and failed junior high school in the 70s. Are you allowed to be in junior high school when you're 18? Sounds like things are on track. Racists don't learn until they lose something, family, and even then some don't learn. Call him an asshole and move on. Not even joking. Letting racist uncles continue their crap at the dinner table is a significant contributor to the social problems we still face. Kick them out on Christmas Eve. Make them sit at the kiddie table. Don't give them a pass. My old man is the same, but much less extreme. Born around the same time and raised with the same values, hatred, racism, and corporate bootlicking. I don't put up with his shit and correct him when he's wrong. He tries to fight back, but gets the deer in the headlights look when I corner him with his own words. I don't give a fuck. He's a dinosaur on his way out. If you have kids, raise them with actual values and not this bullshit from the lead-brained era. Your father sounds like an awful human being for treating you this way. Your mom is stuck with him and will excuse his inhuman behavior towards their child. You don't need such people in your life. End the abuse with this scumbag. Does he ever cook his own meals? If not, who's the lazy turd? Wash his own underwear? Clean his own toilets? Wash his own dishes? 1950s conservatives are a joke. Perhaps he has early with that lash irrationally and often viciously. I wouldn't take it to heart. He probably doesn't even know about Juneteenth. Dementia creeping in? That sucks. I'm sorry. To think it's lazy to not work on a company holiday, that's taking up arms with your oppressors. My father was very similar to your father. I only saw him a few times in the last 20 years before he died. No regrets. He has been dead 13 years now. I understand his tortured life better now and hold no ill will. Best defense is forgiveness, but keep your guard up. I'd bet you anything that out of all the holidays he hates MLK Day the most. He has terminal peasant brain. All he knows is labor subjugation, like a true meaningless cog in that American machine Kona. It's like those jackasses that work 100 hours a week and shit on people who don't. Sorry, you're too fucking stupid to realize that your employer is taking advantage of you. 100 of older, conservative ranting is projection. Pure and simple. Someday, men like him will be gone. And nothing of value will be lost. No offense to you. Boomer here, who is happily taking Juneteenth off and hanging with my girlfriend at an event. And I recently took a 5-day weekend in an area with no cell service because the job was harshing my mellow. Tell your father that I, a German with 31 days of paid vacation next year, I will have 35 BTW. 35 hours work week MFR and additional 10 days of public holidays, having 2 weeks off because I'm sick, and thanks to German laws, I can't be fired and get continued payment of wages during sick. And if he gets really angry and gets a heart attack, tell him, if I would get a heart attack, I would call the ambulance and get to a hospital, where I get all the help I need. And I don't have to pay for that. Just respond with, Dad, you take off for Memorial Day and Independence Day, right? How was your dad born in '52 and only in junior high in the '70s? He'd have graduated high school in either '69 or '70. Sounds like the racist side of him is also pissed that Juneteenth has been recognized as a holiday. You are dead to me too. Can I finally get my inheritance, you prick? He called you a lazy piece of shit. While you are not that, just go with it and tell him, well, the shit apple doesn't fall far from the shit tree. Lead poisoning will really fuck you up. If that's all that happened, the issue is entirely his. Sounds to me like there may be other factors at play for him to have such a visceral reaction. I didn't talk to my dad throughout the entirety of the Trump administration. Lead poisoning. You really should call your dad a fucking dumb coont and pathetic loser. We all deserve time off for time worked, WTF. You need to permanently cut contact with your dad. He does not deserve your help or company. My dad told me I was dead to him for having a boyfriend, then told me in extreme details how he was going to murder him. My dad also did stuff like tell me to let men rape me if they want and to do drugs. My dad was also everything you described as your dad. Any dad that says their kid is dead to them, is abusive. Time to take your dad at his word and pretend to be dead to him. You don't exist no more. Cut of contact and seek therapy. You are literally better off without any abusive, reactionary douchebag in your life. We're here for you at our estranged adult kids if you need support. I am a few years younger than your dad but still born in the '50s. Long story, but I've recently upleveled myself. My friends are pushing me to start dating again. Where I live, most of the guys are too much like your dad. Gark. I was a workaholic for decades. During the pandemic, I took a hard look at my life and said WTF, retired almost 4 years before my original plan, got a fitness coach, a therapist, and dumped excess weight and all the other boomer baggage. Take it from someone who has more life behind them than in front. Work to live, don't live to work. It's a federal holiday, even folks in the military have a 3-day weekend. He was just looking for an excuse to be mean. Your dad needs some help. NBSP. I could sort of understand if you didn't work and not trying to find a job. But when you have a day off, that is a pretty ridiculous reaction. NBSP. Are you my long-lost brother? Rolling eyes face. I recently got new job that provides its hourly workers 4 weeks of PTO in first year. My rich white dad was not happy about that. The man is stuck in his ways and thinking. Some people just rather die miserable, why make it your problem? I have a difficult dad as well and learned to choose my battles. If he still means anything to you, then just mind what you say to both of your parents. Otherwise maybe grieve the fact that you never got the dad you needed and move on so that grief doesn't kick you in the nuts when the old prick kicks the bucket.